So, can you tell me where you grew up?
Um, yeah. I'm just remembering too that I got this freaking cold sore on my face. Yeah. Um, I'm sorry. I'm just I still have this. It's going away, but what are the odds? Um, Me doing press while having a cold sore. I don't, cause I ain't got this the whole time I was in Asia.
Actually,
Oh,
it doesn't show up, so I wouldn't worry about it.
okay.
It's
How?
very small.
Okay. You said, don't tell me, let me remember. You said growing up. Where and how or where?
Yeah, where?
Um, so I grew up in, in the East Coast, between the Bronx, between New York City, and the in the East Coast. So between the South and back and forth to New York City. But it wasn't just straight New York City because that would have altered my life if I was only in New York all this time. I look around at the New Yorkers that have never left, or they left late in life and they're like in the South somewhere. You're just a few states over doing the same thing that you was doing in New York. Um, I, yeah, I'm between Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, and New York.
Do other people in your family sing, or did you come from a musical child family?
I don't come from I don't come from a music family. Um, like the black community, they all aspire. It's it's in all of our heads. Pursuing it, no, no one's gonna. No, not yeah, yeah. The commitment required to get a decent voice as an adult. As an adult, it's one thing to be in piano training and ballet training and doing this stuff as a kid. And you just grow into it because your family supports you taking class, doing extracurricular curriculum activities, and they support that. However, they need to support it. Um, that wasn't the case. I waited till later in life, and I took myself through the development. So no mom or no dad, they can't say, hey, I made, yeah, it's a really vulnerable and lonely place to be, but it's powerful. No one person can come up to me and say I made you. And the people what and if the people if the news or the government or the press was to help me reach all of the people that did give to me all these years, um, we'd have we'd have a bigger story than now because that's what's gonna happen. As long as I continue, I'm gonna make the press more and more and more. They're filming me every time I go out there, and the police are supporting me now. Surprisingly, I haven't been told. Well, I've been told to like, hey, could you just not sing here? Could you sing over there? And on the subway, in multiple locations, they they're they're on board. So I'm giving them shout outs. I'm singing them songs. I'm improvising the I'm making them jingles on the spot for the NYPD, despite being arrested for this and my trauma with law enforcement. But hurt people, and I'm not hurting it. I'm not hurt anymore. Hence, singing for the people and being outside doing this. feel like I might have strayed away from your question a little bit.
Can you tell me a little bit about the mission of Singing for the People?
The mission of Singing for the People, the short version is to use song, use performing arts as a vehicle to influence and promote more human beings to do what they love and make a living doing it. At one point I used song, at one point I used dance, at one point I used poetry and words, jokes, and inspiring universal laws. Now,
Yeah.
now, the goal is, since being back in America, it's Singing for the People is not one man. It doesn't even sound like one man. So that's where we're at now. If I can get anything out of this interview, not cash, I can meet some people.
How do you pick the spots to perform? And are there spots, like you kind of told me a little bit when we were at Bethesda, like it's controlled. So like
I got a system.
What's your system of choosing a spot?
Well, that's also going to be some information that I put on singingforthepeople.com, and it's basically going to be members only information.
Can you talk about it generally though?
What did you say?
Not specific spots, but just sort of like.
No, there's specifics.
No, I'm saying like if you don't want to reveal the specifics, you can just talk about the generality of choosing a spot.
Location location is no different from any business. Foot traffic, and the support from the community.
So, sorry, you have to start out by saying, when I'm looking for a spot, I think about it like any other business, and then say what you just said.
When I'm looking for a location, and I'm in a new territory that I'm not already familiar with, I look for foot traffic, density in the population, whether it's a city or not, and then I try to read if the local businesses or residents of the neighborhood are pro-black or not pro-black. I can't say pro-artists and pro-music. No, I'm a melanated man, so there's no ignoring it. Things are different. Like we've not intentionally, but I've had myself go out and sing, and then someone else would go out and sing that doesn't look like me. And I would have someone else sit back and get the response from the authorities. Do they allow it, or do they say the same thing they say to me? You're too loud. You have a permit, but you're too loud. You're too, do they get picked on, or are they left alone? They're left alone. So when you look, I've tried it with my girlfriend as well. She goes and sing, and she's a new developing singer. So that tells you where her technique is. But she's a female, 21, 22. She goes and sing on a corner, and she's the audacity and the balls to do it. They tip her out. I go and sing on a corner, I have to sing 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's harder to get tipped like she is. I'm a black man. And it's just the programming and the psychology of this city and of this world that is still there 400 or 500 years later. So that alters how I perform opposed to someone else who is American, or in Thailand, if you're from Thailand, you can sing on the streets. But if you're a black man, you can't sing on the streets.
What do you love about performing in New York, and what do you hate about performing in New York?
What I love about performing in New York is um, uh, I'm a New Yorker, so it's my backyard. I have the advantage over the world. I have the advantage over the world. The world is coming here. We're setting trends for the world in the rest of this country. And I was born here. I've known these analytics since I was 14 years old. So, and I don't even use the word hate. I don't hate anything. There's a lot of things that I may not disagree with, that I may not agree with, but I'm representing change in those things. For example, um, a lot of times people that look like me are the last to support me. Every whether it's black or New York or American. That's why I enjoy being outside of New York or outside of America. They may have less money, but they appreciate more, which equals money.